Alright guys, welcome to Edutainment for Us. How is your political journey? Did you change in 2026 and you're interested now in politics, or are you still saying that it's none of your business? Guys, politics is part of us. We like it or not, they say human beings are political. Wherever you are, whether you like it or not, the person who will be chosen will determine your future. Financial, economic, social. Na umeenda tu hivyo bila sweta tu. Alright guys, welcome to Edutainment for Us for our political reaction, and I hope this 2026 you will be interested in politics because they are here to stay. After 5 years and we are going to have an election, still those political leaders will be circulating around. The decisions they'll make, the rules they'll make, the policies they'll assign, they'll determine your future or your past. They'll affect either how your child will study, how your house will be constructed, how the roads will be in your environment, how the business will be operated, how everything, I'm telling you, including your marriage. Hey, so guys, if you keep telling me that politics is not your game, I think you're lost. You better wake up and start listening to politics, because it is one of the things you cannot avoid. It's inevitable. All right? So guys, welcome to 2026. We are still going on strong and focused to analyze every day's episodes of our political journey. And as I say, avoid politics at your own risk. Okay? So let's start very quickly with what's happening with SIFUNA. Then we'll emerge with other details. Mohammed Omar, welcome. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. So I want us to actually study something here in relation to SIFUNA, and then we pick from there.
Wondering if a medical approach to weight is right for you? Here's how to find out. Step 1. Take our quick...
All right, here we are.
Nyanza, wengine ni majirani zako Mheshimiwa Orengo. Na tunataka tuwaombe.
Mohamed Omar, najua Kiswahili.
Waache Waluya wazungumze. Hapa Western. Party leader na anaitwa Godfrey Osotsi. Wacha yeye atupe mwelekeo. Kama nyinyi kule Luo Nyanza mmeshamaliza mambo ya 2027, hiyo ni sawa.
Poa sana Muhammad.
Akili mnasonga haraka. Sisi msituharakishe. Sisi kama jamii ya Mulembe mambo ya 2027 hatujaamua. Na namba ya pili, sisi kama wana ODM tumesema uamuzi wa jinsi chama kitaenda kwa mwaka 2027 hautafanywa na viongozi wachache hapa juu. Tutakuja kwa hao wananchi tuwaulize mnataka tufanye namna gani. Na huo uamuzi, mimi kama katibu nataka nitangaze hapa, wanachama wa ODM hawajafanya uamuzi wowote wa kuunga mtu yoyote mkono mwaka wa 2027. Baba mwenyewe alituambia chama cha ODM kina uwezo wa kutoa rais Kenya hii. Wewe ukienda kutuambia unaenda kuunga mtu mwingine, baba alisema tukuulize who told you? Who told you? Who...
Okay.
Kuja huku kwa Waluya pia
Mohamed Omar wauliza nini? Mohamed ameuliza NP, akasema wajua Kiswahili, akasema mambo, wewe ni mwalimu. Mbona waniuliza maswali mengi, wewe ni polisi nini? Mohamed Omar, wewe ni polisi nini? Ama wewe ni clinic officer? Unajua clinic officer ndio ukienda hospitali na kuuliza ulikuwa mgonjwa lini, ulianza kusikia hivi vipi, kifua kinasikiaje, anakuuliza maswali badala ya majibu. Ni sawa basi, umekubalika kuniuliza maswali. Mimi ni mwalimu of course, but I'm also doing another journey in creating content, YouTube and Facebook. All right. Oh my God. Mohamed, we unakaa askari ama uwe ni daktari? Daktari na polisi wanapenda sana kuuliza maswali. Though wanasema pia walimu wanauliza. But I think hao wawili wanaongoza kwa maswali. Kama ni askari atakuuliza unaenda wapi, unarudi wapi? Unaenda wapi, unarudi wapi, wapi kitambulisho na ID na kivande? Unaenda mbele ama nyuma? Unaendesha gari ama una anyway, that's a lot of fun. I'm so happy I started on a very good note. Oh, Mohamed anasema mtoto, sijui mtoto gani. Anyway, that's part of the fun of YouTube. So I'm here on my channel, Edutainment for Us, to do another political reaction of the day. And Mohamed Omar ni mtoto. Oh, no wonder. Mtoto pia upenda kuuliza maswali. Mtoto atakuuliza mami, mwalimu alisema mama anaitwa mother. Wewe unasema mama anaitwa nani? Anyway, ni sawa. Karibu sana. 11 years. Welcome. 11 years lazima uko grade 7, grade 6 around there. Grade 6, hapa. You want to ruin my computer and my phone. Every time you jump around, I don't know. You have long feet and you don't. This boy. Oh my God. So, it's so funny. Anyway, entering grade 7. Yeah, nilijua tu lazima unaingia grade ya 7. Most times nimekuwa pia nikifanya hapa uchambuzi wa vitabu vya watoto, that is English and Kiswahili, and I'm proud of that. Of course, hata wakati tunaanza grade 10, I am going currently tunaandika kitabu cha grade 10 for literature and languages. So usijali. For now ni vile nafanya political analysis, na chambua mambo ya SIFUNA, ODM generally, niangalie BABU, ALAI and so forth. So utanisamea for now, nitakuwa naongea mambo ya siasa sana, lakini that's part of the game into this political reaction. Welcome. You can subscribe to my channel. Unaweza kubonyeza pale pa subscribe kisha ujiunge na Edutainment for Us. You'll meet a lot of fun, both discussions political and social, among other things, kama lessons pia watu tunafanya hapa wakati mwingine. It's only that I post that wakati watu wako holiday. Sikutaka kusumbua chapati siteremke kwa tumbo eti mtu anasikiza lessons. But once schools are back, oh my God, I'm going back to lessons. All right. So welcome to the house, and I really appreciate your presence. And of course, tumesikia vile Sifuna alianza. The reason why Ruto actually wants Edwin Sifuna kutoka kwa siasa ya ODM, it's because Edwin Sifuna has continuously insisted that the collision between ODM and that is the party that lead party by Ruto was a mistake. He has persistently said that. Sijui wewe unasikiaje? Do you think that is true ama ni uongo? Is it really a fact or a fiction? Do you think Sifuna anafanya hivyo to gain a mileage, aanzishe party yake? That's what some people feel. And do you think whatever he's saying is truthful, or do you think it's a lie? So thank you so much for the likes. My mom anasema ni lale. All right. Of course, kama kesho ni shule, mtoto alale ndio asubuhi asisumbue, aweze kwenda shule mapema na aweze kusikiza masomo shuleni. Good night, Mohamed Omar. Usiku mwema. Oh, madrasa. Oh, hata madrasa pia, it's okay. Usikose kulala alafu ukakosa kuelewa masomo ya madrasa kesho. Welcome. Kesho unaweza sikiza whatever I've done if you can understand it. And any other person watching, welcome in the house, and thank you so much for tuning in to Edutainment for Us, our channel for political reaction, educational lessons, among other things, social interactions. So I welcome you this 2026. I've been so busy. The end of 2025 I was quite busy. I had some challenges also, and I was also unwell. So that is why I was unable to actually do some videos for almost 6 days, almost there. And again, I traveled back home, and at home there was a problem. Some people had stolen the Dropbox. In fact, we have to sit and think about how we are going to reinstall the part of the connection, because everything is there, but the Dropbox was stolen. I'm telling you, thieves take us back big time. But anyway, it is what it is, because our parents are very fundamental, and we have to keep doing things for them just as they are alive. If we didn't have them, I don't know what we could do. They are really important in some things in our lives. But anyway, it is what it is. So guys, SIFUNA has come up in headlines of late from ODM's end. In fact, you can agree with me. One of the people who is standing out so much is SIFUNA, followed by, I think, BABU. Then we have Winnie Odinga coming up at some point, Orengo, and Hamisi. Then we have this guy, Osoti. Millie Onyambo is currently quiet, not much. Then we have this team of these people who stand out also in ODM, but in bad books, I can say. When you look at the agenda of ODM, that is UNET. We have, who else? Maybe even ALAI also came out recently, very in dirty expose. Who else? I think just majorly those. Gladys Wanga I was forgetting. And of course, when you see the brother to Raila Odinga. So guys, we are into politics. I'm telling you. Hello, NXS world. I've missed you a lot. You are on this platform, but because of my absence, as a result of what I've just explained, I missed you big time. Welcome. Thank you so much. And continue liking the video and subscribing for those who are new, and also sharing my video, because I've been away and therefore I've lost people who used to watch me all the time. And I think I'm coming back just as I have always done. I'll try so much. Every day I do 2 live streams and a video dropped at the end of the day. So guys, what is popping in the house? SIFUNA has gone out for an interview, and during that interview he decided to banga ODM. He said a lot of things, but before then I'm trying to bring out some other speeches earlier, then from there we can proceed. Now let's just check on this. NX World says, just saying hello, passing by, no problem, no wahala, you are welcome. You are welcome. Even if you step by just for a minute, it matters to me. It is very important to me. You don't know what it means, and I'm so appreciative. So let's check on this. T enda kitchen usilale.
Waache Waluya wazungumze. Hapa Western. Tuko na anaitwa Godfrey Osoti. Wacha yeye atupe mwelekeo. Kama nyinyi kule Luo Nyanza mumeshamaliza mambo ya 2027, hiyo ni sawa. Labda nyinyi mko na akili mnasonga haraka. Sisi msituharakishe. Sisi kama jamii ya Mulembe mambo ya 2027 hatujaamua. Na namba ya pili, sisi kama wana ODM tumesema uamuzi wa jinsi chama kitaenda kwa mwaka 2027 hautafanywa na viongozi wachache hapa juu. Tutakuja kwa hao wananchi tuwaulize mnataka tufanye namna gani. Na huo uamuzi mimi kama katibu nataka nitangaze hapa.
All right, I want to bring you other 2 videos. 1 day ago and 2 days ago. Let's start with 2 days ago. What SIFUNA said again.
If you're hearing these words, it's not a coincidence. Something powerful is moving in the
Nairobi. Senator Edwin SIFUNA aje aseme mawili matatu.
Anza wa walio wachache kwenye bunge la Senate. Nimefika hapa. Unajua kuna watu wanataka kutuambia matanga gani tunaweza enda, harusi gani tunaweza enda, na wanataka kutuchagulia marafiki na maadui. Sisi wa Nairobi Sisi ni familia moja. Huyu Mheshimiwa Gakuya ni mbunge wa Embakasi North. Kule Embakasi North, kama hamjui, walichagua senator wa ODM, wakachagua MP wa UDA, wakachagua MCA kule Dandora 4 wakaweka ODM, Dandora 3 wakaweka UDA, hiyo ingine wakagawa vile wanataka. Wana ODM, wana DCP, wana ODM, wana UDA, wana Wiper. Nairobi wote walipewa nafasi. Wacha niwaambie, Nairobi ilituma jumla ya watu 19 kwenye bunge. 18 actually members of the National Assembly and 1 senator. Kwa hiyo group ya watu 19, kama hamjui, iko Waluya, iko Wajaluo, iko wa Kikuyu, iko wa Kamba, iko wa Somali, tulichagua mpaka Mgiriki. Women rep wa Nairobi ni wa wapi? Ndio ukue senator wa county ya Nairobi. Wakamba lazima wakuunge, Wakikuyu lazima wakupigie, Waluya wakupigie, Wajaluo wakupigie, Wahindi wakupigie. Bila kura yao hauingi. So pale Nairobi hatutaki kuambiwa mambo na watu ambao kwa kijiji yao peke yao, kijiji tu, wako familia yao wamezaana sana, wamefikisha watu 3,000 wanakuchagua unakuwa mbunge. Nairobi is a different issue, na sisi tunaishi pamoja. Mimi nimesema sitakubali mtu anichagulie marafiki zangu, sitakubali mtu anichagulie maadui wangu. Wewe kama uko na shida na Methu kwa sababu huwa anyoi, hiyo ni yako. Mheshimiwa Methu, mimi Disemba nilikuwa nyumbani, nimeenda kuona wazazi. Kule Western ni 1 term. Sasa unajua nyinyi huwa mnaringa ati nyinyi ndio wenye 1 term. Nataka kuwaambia kama katibu mkuu wa chama cha ODM, maeneo yote ambayo yalikuwa naunga baba Raila Amolo Odinga yamechoka na Kasongo. Lakini lazima nitoe shukrani. Unajua watu wengi wamesahau Mlima Kenya hii kwa mara ya kwanza baba Raila Amolo Odinga alizoa kura zaidi ya milioni 1. Ndio maana mliona nikipigia Uhuru Kenyatta asante, kwa sababu alitusaidia. Mlitusukuma lakini alitusaidia. Wengine walikula pesa ya Uhuru Kenyatta sawa sawa. Mimi najua kama katibu mkuu, pesa nyingi ambayo tulifanyia campaign ilikuwa inatoka kwa Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta.
Alright, so that is Edwin Sifuna, guys. And I want to bring you another speech that he gave recently. Then we can get into a discussion. There is a speech he gave one day ago, while he was warning critics.
Asante sana. ODM. ODM. Mheshimiwa kinara wetu ambaye pia ni senator wa Siaya, Daktari Oburu Oginga, ndugu yangu governor hapa Mombasa, Abdulswamad Sharif, viongozi wenzangu wote ambao
I think this speech was meant for 20th celebration, right? Yeah, if I'm not so wrong.
Assalamu alaikum. Kwanza kabisa, kwa sababu ni mara yangu ya kwanza kuona nyuso zenu baada ya sisi kumpoteza baba, nataka nichukue fursa hii kwa niaba yangu mwenyewe, kwa niaba ya makao makuu ya chama cha ODM. Hakuna jambo ambalo tunaweza weka mbele yetu atilitushinde. Mimi najua tukiamua leo hii ya kwamba tunamsimamisha party leader wetu 2027, watu wanaenda nyumbani. Tukiamua tunasimamisha huyu Abdulswamad, ama deputy party leaders wale wengine wote, tutashinda huo uchaguzi. Mukisema SG wenu wasimame kura 2027, hiyo uchaguzi tunashinda.
So those are just some part of the discussions I'm bringing around from what Edwin Sifuna has consistently held. Now, of course, recently he went to a studio and he really talked strongly against some people. He didn't mention names, but automatically you can understand if you know what you know. So I want you to listen to this discussion between Edwin Sifuna and Viona in a studio. What exactly is he talking about? What is his intention? What do you think he stands by? Is he not trying to actually pull down what ODM is trying to cheat in the eyes of many? And let's listen to this.
particularly with regards to
decisions of ODM are made in a collegiate matter. Like you will have a meeting, and in that meeting, of course, not everybody will see the things or everything from the same perspective. So I will give my perspective, and majority or more of the people that are present in that room will give a different perspective. That is not to mean that I have lost my power of persuasion, because there are fights that I have won in that political party.
It doesn't seem like you're winning any battle with your party.
Lately, there are not too many.
Right.
Lately, there are not too many. Like I am on record having advised the party against doing this MOU with UDA.
And they still went ahead.
We still went ahead and entered that MOU. But you see, the beauty is that you're proven right every day. I warned that the problem with doing a formal MOU with UDA is that it didn't matter what the MOU said. The people from UDA, the government, William Ruto, is not interested in the details of the MOU. And that is why he gets upset when I remind him what the MOU said. You know, they wanted a document that they could then go and run a PR campaign around and say, oh, tumeungana, we are together. That is not what this document says. This document does not establish a coalition agreement between ODM and UDA. But that's the impression they've been creating. They go out there and say, and I had warned that the PR disaster that was going to come from this was going to be something that was going to be very difficult to manage. Unfortunately, the foremost PR officer for the party is the SG. And that is where I'm saying there's difficulty that has come from this. Recently, we had another meeting, and there was a proposal to have a team to review the implementation of this MOU. I have asked respectfully that I be left out of that team because I have already declared this MOU dead. I have already done so publicly. So there is no point. I'm not a mortician. There's no point of me going to go through a document that I've already declared dead. And the reason I declared this MOU dead is because the initial argument for entering into this MOU was twofold. First of all, it was for the sustenance of life. For the sustenance of life, that we were losing people unnecessarily. That can we all agree that this is not something we need to continue doing? We need to stop killing our people. That was the first argument. The second argument was the sustenance of the democratic state. So Ruto is getting his end of the bargain because the democratic state is being sustained at least until 2027. But our people are not getting there. They're still being killed. So on the day that Albert Ojwang dies in a police cell, to me, this agreement is dead because it doesn't matter what else you do. Albert will not be able to enjoy that.
Okay.
You know?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you told this to your party leader?
I have spoken with Baba. I have explained to him my frustrations, the difficulties of having to explain what we're doing with this rogue regime. The confusion that has come upon my mind because this is not what I was taught. You know, me, I don't know how I can explain. Because I've told you I've only known one leader. I've only known one political party. I know what this party stands for. So every time there is things that are at odds with what I have been taught, have been conditioned to believe, then the confusion becomes too much for me. So I have expressed that.
And what does he say in response?
So there is many private conversations, the details of which that I cannot.
Tanimaliza tu kidogo like 10 minutes then. All right, so from the consistent discussions that the SG of ODM has shared, it's clear actually that he is not in line with what the rest of the members, especially Junet and some of them, are standing for. So of course there has been an allegation that has come out indicating that Junet has there's clear evidence showing that Junet stole Azimio agent money during the 2022 election. No wonder they lost it. And of course we can listen that from David Wafula's end and hear what he says
This
here.
is the quickest way to go from AI beginner to AI fluent in 2026. Watch this.
Shika hii 200 we enda kula biscuit pale kando. He or she would plans that was so restricted that even Raila Odinga, the party's presidential candidate, could not access it.
neither paid nor represented at their designated Azimio to pay agents during the 2022 election. Now, as we speak, Junet has fired back by saying this, and I quote, "Press statement for immediate release. I wish to respond to Senator Edwin Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General, who moonlights for former President Uhuru Kenyatta within our party and who has challenged me to explain why agents in the 2022 general election were neither paid nor represented at their designated polling stations. The answer is simple, clear, and verifiable. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta released the funds meant for election agents to his blood brother Muhoho Kenyatta. Muhoho Kenyatta then appointed one Mr. Patrick Mburu to take charge of the recruitment and payment of agents. Mr. Mburu presented himself as an IT expert, claiming he had the capacity to detect and prevent any manipulation of results by the IEBC. To date, Mr. Mburu remains an aide of Uhuru Kenyatta. Just this past weekend, Mburu traveled to Nigeria in the company of Uhuru Kenyatta and Kalonzo Musyoka. Clear evidence that he is not a peripheral figure in these matters. Around the time, Muhoho Kenyatta operated from an office in Westlands that was so restricted that even Raila Odinga, the party's presidential candidate, could not access it freely. Long story short, Junet anasema si yeye alikula pesa ya agents, but when it's all said and done, we can bet Junet Mohammed regrets putting out that statement, because all he did was set himself up perfectly for this rebuttal by Satyabao Lekanchori. And I quote, "Waislamu pia kumbe ni waongo hivi. Number one, Patrick Mburu never presented himself as an IT expert. It is Joe Mushiru who ran this con, and when I protested, you, and by you he is referring to Junet Mohammed because this is a response to him, you and Makau Mutua strongly came to his defense. Number two, it is you, Junet, who kept Raila away from the command center for reasons which were best known to you and which are now obvious to all. It is ridiculous to suggest that Raila had restricted access to the command center. Yes, he rarely came, but not because he couldn't. When I insisted that Baba must join us and get a hands-on feeling on what is happening, you, Junet, told me that Baba was too busy and could not be involved or bothered by such small matters as the issue of agents. Number three, when as ODM we tried to set up a backup agents management system and tallying center, you, Junet Mohammed, frustrated it and had it dismantled, almost leading to a fallout between Raila and his loyal lieutenant and fellow political detainee Dr. Oduor Ongwen, an executive director of ODM, who was also my deputy. Number four, Raila Odinga appointed you minority leader because he was planning to sell out and needed a broker, and you happened to be a damn fine one. As broker, you have carried your assignment with diligence and dedication and have managed to sell your boss to his detriment and demise. Your job is done. The rest of us are not for sale. Number five, you, Junet, of all people, cannot talk of 2022. More to follow. I, for one, believe this.
All right, guys. So from David Wafula's end, you clearly see that there is a very serious war in ODM, and especially Junet and the likes of Wanga pushing Sifuna and Babu away. And that takes us to the story of ALAI. Bagi ya handbag yenye nilikuwa na shule, nitoka na shule. Sio ndio nimekwambia. Handbag nimetoka na shule iko na chupa ndani. So guys, clearly that tells us there is a large battle in ODM. And of course, today we saw Osoti, Emilio Jambo plus others sitting down to see how they can solve the problem. And urging the two to stop throwing clouds at each other and, of course, sitting down amicably to solve their problems. Whether they are going to solve those problems or not, already we see the crack. And sometimes it's too hard to actually mend a crack. Once the crack has appeared, it weakens everything, and it might be very impossible for them to mend it. Possibly, Junet and the rest of those who are in the other camp feel like they are very comfortable to support the government. Therefore, they don't care what will happen to the people who are amicably standing with the party as Sifuna and the rest of them. And whether it's power politics, I don't understand. But of course, we have seen how Millie Ojambo came angrily indicating that they should have some decorum in their discussions. Do you believe that these people are going to have decorum to the extent to which we've seen ALAI holding a gun at Babu? And now he has come out in an interview to indicate that this was just an allegation that is not truthful. And I don't know whether Babu would be just crazy to put such an allegation and for something that happened in public. With the CID being indicated to have taken the gun, of course, he himself has said it was taken, but he is cornering, indicating that it was just taken because he never used it, and I wonder whether that is true. So, of course, looking at that discussion, it looks very fishy, but what do we have to buy from the entire discussion? And of course, I wanted us to look at the war that is escalating between Junet and Sifuna is actually creating very funny demands in ODM party. And I want us to also look at the church. Of course, many of us go to church to receive the social growth and that kind of environment that will have to give us solace in terms of spiritual growth. Guys, extreme churches are there, and we've seen them. The Shakahola aspect and all those are there. Churches which will actually brainstorm you, buy your mind, buy your heart, buy your finances, buy your everything, make you even disregard education, disregard wealth and all that now. One of those churches, of course, has come out as AWOUR's church. Recently, it was discovered that the church sends most of their patients after the miracles, the so-called miracles, they are sent to those doctors to test and see whether they don't have HIV/AIDS. And there's some of them testify that they don't have. But the reality is that just testing the blood cells is not enough to qualify whether you are still having HIV/AIDS or not. It deserves that you check even the DNA itself, if possible. So looking at what is happening, now the government has come for for AWOUR and the Prophet AWOUR, and Duale has announced that all those doctors should cease from that and the patients should go elsewhere. So it's very funny that even when AWOUR himself was sick, he went for surgery in India, but he makes his patients just trust in miracles. Of course, miracles are there. We don't deny it. Spiritually, miracles are there. But why would patients be made only to go through one process while the leaders themselves in church go through other ways? Is this not brainwashing? And of course, we've seen this happening even with Kanyare, among other churches. And it is a moment that people should be very careful, because medical staff are supposed to be handled medically. When it comes to other matters, they should be handled spiritually. So spiritual matters cannot be mixed with medical matters. Anyway, as we come to the end of this, I've not been able to take 1 hour because I have to deal with other matters. Let me just take for a video shortly on AWOUR, Prophet AWOUR, and show you what's going on. Yeah, so let's see this. I don't know whether it will be clear. Nini hapa? Communication nanyi mnataka mtu ashinda akishauti na hivyo kwa nini?
And spiritual nourishment in the lives of our citizens. We don't doubt that as a ministry we recognize the place, the critical role of faith and spiritual nourishment in the lives of our citizens. However, na huyo mtu alifanya hiyo crusade anisikize. However, na wale madaktari waliongea wanisikize. However, matters of health, mambo ya afya and life must remain firmly grounded in the ethics and science-based medicine. Wewe huwezi kuenda shule ya School of Medicine alafu unasimama kwa crusade, na tumekupatia license as a practitioner, and any claims of miraculous healing, any claims of miraculous healing, and more so by licensed medical practitioners, must be supported by verifiable and scientifically proved. If you cannot do that, and you are a medical practitioner, and you go and speak in a crusade, and you talk about miraculous healing, we have directed
the regulator, Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, to do a thorough investigation on those medical practitioners. And we shall, if they cannot verify scientifically, we will be forced to cancel their license. And I am told 2 of them are from MTRH. Please pass the message to all the medics in MTRH.
All right, guys. So that is Duale, who came head-on collision with the AWOUR. Prophet AWOUR held a crusade, and in that crusade, he called upon medical practitioners to come out and give allegations that some of the patients had been healed after going through the simple, miraculous process. Of course, we don't reject spiritual healing, but then when it goes too much to an extent that it makes people believe so much in just miracles, it goes to another level. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Continue subscribing to the channel, like the videos and share. Bye bye for now. Let's meet tomorrow. Yani nakataza tu mtoto pekele